viewers. Today I want to share my story of awakening, and I also want to mention Kundalini energy and how that can actually influence you. So I want to start with defining what Kundalini energy is, and can it be put into words, because Kundalini energy is so vast, it is so complete. It represents the infinite, it represents life force that is all within us. So you may notice that how spiritual teachers are trying to explain what this energy is, but I strongly believe that it goes beyond words. At the same time, I'm gonna try to put it into words and actually share with you guys my experience of Kundalini awakening. Now, it is super powerful. It is also super scary. Because it forces us to actually, Kundalini energy actually forces us to look at ourselves. It also clears up patterns of resistance, of fears, and it is actually a breakthrough in your subconscious mind. It is a breakthrough in your subconscious mind, and that is a pure gift, because the moment that we face our fears, and through Kundalini energy we are actually forced to face our fears. It clears up our energetic system, okay? It allows us, after going through all that madness, going through all that darkness, to actually find ourselves into an infinite space of completion, into an infinite space of pure beingness, okay? So what is Kundalini energy? Kundalini energy is a serpent energy. It is an energy that lays at the back of your spine. And usually this energy actually opens and awakens spontaneously. Okay, so you may hear people that are actually going through spiritual awakenings on the planet. You may be going through one, that is super possible. And when this energy awakens, your purpose is to get aware of this energy, is to actually get aware of your awakening. Okay, because back in the day, back in 2014, when I began to awaken, I didn't really know what was happening. I honestly thought I was going crazy. I thought that I was going crazy because I used to have a lot of thoughts. I used to feel weird. And that happened because my heart chakra used to actually clear negative emotions. So it was like an up and down of emotion. So Kundalini energy is a divine feminine life force energy that awakens usually when we go through hard moments. It's like our higher selves, our higher beings, they say that, okay man, you're going through this stuff, you're going through all this pain, it's time for the universe to actually let you know that you must experience a shift. Okay, so your ego, when this energy awakens, is confused, and you have all the right to be confused, because you can't really know what's going on until you actually know what is going on. Okay, so we all have this life force energy within us, and I believe that we can actually influence it. We can influence it, and the most important key that I found with influencing this energy is actually self-forgiveness and forgiveness of others. It is actually placing ourselves and visualizing ourselves into a state of completion. Okay, so in order to awaken this energy, in order to actually become enlightened, as many spiritual teachers say, you must actually see yourself like you are already there. Okay, so it's already happening. And Kundalini energy, again, is in everybody and maybe in everything. We all have this energy within ourselves. So when this energy awakens, it's like you are forced to expand. You are forced to expand. And trust me, awakening is not easy. Awakening can actually be, it was my biggest blessing and my worst nightmare. My biggest blessing and my worst nightmare. But I realized a thing that the shadow and the light are actually the same thing. They actually meet at the same point. We are all one. Everything is one. Even the inner world and the outer world. Okay, so in order to be a complete person within this awakening, you must actually not avoid the shadow in order to look for the light. Okay? So see yourself as complete. Embrace the darkness, embrace the negative, embrace the positive, and actually see the middle point between these things, which is actually your complete self. Kundalini energy is a very potent energy. At the same time, you have lessons to learn. Throughout my journey, I realized that there are lessons to learn. It may bring out a lot of shadows. Kundalini may bring out a lot of shadows. And that is perfect because you do have the power to actually accept these shadows and actually alchemize these shadows. Okay, so it is yourself that you actually, one cool tool that I use within accepting these shadows is to actually find a place within my own consciousness where I can actually observe myself objectively. Okay, I also believe that when Kundalini energy awakens, you are actually opening the right side of the brain, which is the objective side, which is the creative side, which is the feminine side. Okay, we all have masculine and feminine energies. Okay, we must embrace the two. As a man, I do have feminine energy, and that is super powerful. That can bring a lot of healing because the feminine energy is like, it brings compassion, it brings understanding, it brings unconditional love, it brings a complete perspective of yourself. Feminine energy is super healing, okay? So Kundalini energy, it can be scary, guys. It can be scary, but let's talk about how you can actually awaken it. Now, some people say that you can't actually consciously awaken this energy because it's like it awakens spontaneously. And I agree to that, but I believe that we can actually influence this energy in order to grow through our chakras and actually expand through our third eyes and crown chakra and actually find ourselves in a complete state of being. Now, food is super important because food is energy, okay? The higher the food vibrates, the better you will feel. So I recommend for you guys, in order to actually influence your Kundalini energy, is to actually stop eating meat and actually look for a diet that is full of high vibrational energy. This is what you need to do. Another tool would be, in opening the Kundalini energy, is becoming aware of your emotions and actually step into a meditative state in each moment. Each moment is a meditation. The moment that you actually see the present moment as everything that is, you will actually let this energy, this Kundalini energy, actually to flow smoother throughout you, through you. Okay, so the present moment is all there is. The more focused you are, the more the Kundalini energy will actually flow through you. So it's about being focused, it's about being present. Also, if you feel like you are stuck in thoughts, let that happen, because that is happening on purpose. It is a lesson that you have to embrace, okay? So Kundalini energy is about being present. It is about awakening the divine force within yourself. The divine force lays within everything that is. It lays in everything that is. We all have the power to actually awaken this force. And I also realized that it's important to actually follow my uniqueness. In order to influence my energies, I have to follow my uniqueness. What am I passionate about? How do I want to express myself? Okay, so it's about listening to your heart. It's about giving yourself freedom. Now, my awakening has a lot of positive and a lot of negative in it. Both are to be accepted. Another way to actually influence your Kundalini energy is to actually learn how to play in the dark. okay? Because we tend to run from negative emotions, and that actually blocks our energy centers, okay? So don't run from negative emotions. Allow yourself to feel. The better you get at feeling, the more the energy will actually flow through you and actually expand your consciousness, okay? Now, there are some people that are going through awakenings. There are some people that have chosen from a higher perspective to actually not go through these awakenings. You may resonate with this message or you may not, but this is for the people who are actually curious about Kundalini energy and are actually curious about spirituality. Maybe at some moment in the future we will all begin to awaken, and there are a lot of people on the planet that are actually awakening right now, and that is super beautiful because we realize that this life is this universes, this God, this power lays within ourselves, okay? Also, another tool to actually awaken your energies is to open your heart to authenticity. It's not always about being positive, so be yourself. Actually give advice from on an authentic level. Be yourself, open yourself. Open yourself to yourself and to the world, okay? I also want to share with you guys my awakening story, which is something that has shifted me completely. It really has shifted me completely. And those dark moments that I have experienced have actually opened myself to a new understanding of how I work, of how I operate. It actually taught me self-love, because before my awakening, when I used to be asleep, I was I was really operating from the ego. I used to not question myself. I was letting my mind actually be on autopilot, and I didn't really know that there is more to this life, okay? I used to be stuck in the material world. And yes, we can all chase material stuff, but this Kundalini awakening actually showed me that there is more to this life. And we have the power to actually look beyond the material world and actually find everything that we need on the inside, because everything that we need is on the inside. We have the power within, guys, and you can actually access this power by placing your consciousness from the outer world into the inner world, which is super powerful, okay? Kundalini energy also heals everything about yourself. But in order to actually heal stuff about yourself, you must actually let it come out to the surface. You must experience that pain. You must experience everything about yourself. So my recommendation would be, in order to awaken this energy, start loving and accepting everything about yourself. Start loving and accepting everything about yourself. This journey is infinite, guys. We are infinite. And we have the choice to actually expand our consciousness. Each moment is a choice to actually expand our consciousness. Also, observe yourself as an objective way of being, okay? So allow yourself to be. Okay, they talk about the art of not trying. The art of not trying means that life is actually happening through you. Okay, so you are guided by higher force. And the moment that you accept that everything is happening through you, all you gotta do is observe yourself. And this goes into the infinite, because you can even observe the observer. Right now I am letting this message actually flow through me. Okay, so I am receiving, and you can actually receive the messages from a higher guidance. Okay, the moment that you actually observe yourself. Okay, so I realized that meditation is key, because the moment that we detach from our identifications, the moment that we detach from our thoughts, we can actually let life flow through us and as us and with us, okay? So everything is happening through you. It is not done by you. This message is not done by Seba. It is done by Seba and by my higher guidance. Okay? Doesn't mean I don't exist. Doesn't mean Seba doesn't exist. It means that Seba is actually flowing as the universe, and you are flowing as the universe as well. Okay? So this Kundalini energy, you can influence it. I'm not sure that you can have the pure choice to actually completely awaken it, but it is happening on purpose, and many people are going through Kundalini awakenings, and I'm sure that in the future we will all actually begin to awaken to a new potential, to new technology, to new mathematics, to rediscovering and remembering the truths of the universe. Okay, so follow what resonates with you. That is the best way to increase your energies. Don't get stuck, guys. Don't get stuck in your day-to-day routine. Question, try out new things, and realize that you have the freedom to create the life that you want. Being free is your birthright, okay? It goes beyond what the mind can think. It goes beyond what the mind can think. It goes into the infinite. It goes into the infinite. We are infinite. We are not limited. We are it. Okay? So, what can I say about Kundalini energy? The experience is actually something that is very hard to put into words, and many people won't actually understand this message. They won't understand this message, which is okay. I totally understand. Maybe even I wouldn't understand it if I wouldn't have experienced what I have experienced. And maybe this is the new way of being, this awakening, because so many people are going through shifts in consciousness. A shift in consciousness can be influenced by many things. From my perspective, I was realizing that I was going through dark, and the universe was like, okay, this is enough, and you actually need to find a new way of growing, a new way of expressing yourself, a new way of being, and that is actually infinite. Okay? Yeah. We have the freedom within. We have all that we need on the inside.